The Eurocrypt of Christopher Lee promises to be the ultimate box set for any Christopher Lee fan. Hi guys, welcome to another video. Hope you're all keeping well. For this video, I thought to do a full review of the Eurocrypt of Christopher Lee box set that I purchased a couple of weeks ago. So without further ado, I'll just get each movie out and just give you my thoughts on them as a whole. So just take the lid off. Right. So the first movie I'd like to show you and talk about is probably the best movie in the whole box set, to be honest, and that is The Torture Chamber of Dr. Sadism. Now, if you're not familiar with this movie, I'll just read you a little bit from the back and I'll just give you my thoughts on the movie as a whole. Christopher Lee stars as Count Regular. Now, there's a name. An insane nobleman found guilty of murdering a dozen virgins and drawn and quartered for his crimes. But when a lawyer, former Tarzan Lex Barker, is summoned to the Count's castle 35 years later, he will unlock a wildly entertaining odyssey of torture, dismemberment and creepy Bavarian locations that is equal parts Mario Bava and Hieromona Spotch. Karen Dorr co-stars in this 1967 underrated gem, also known as Castle of the Walking Dead, Blood of the Virgins and the Blood Demon. So there you go, guys. I've just got a couple of special features there if you want to freeze your cameras and take those in. Yeah, so as I say, this is probably, well, in my opinion, about the best movie in the box set, and that's saying something. It's in colour, but the only thing is you don't really see much of Christopher Lee. A problem that seems to run through most of the movies in this box set. You don't really see much of Christopher Lee. You see him a little bit at the beginning where he gets like a thing put, like an Iron Maiden mask put over his face, and you don't see him then until near an hour into the film, and then his character doesn't really make a memorable impression. Not as memorable as Dracula. But it's a lovely colour, and it's got one particular my favourite scene in it, and this is a scene that's been echoed by other horror fans who's bought the box set. The best scene in it is where the main protagonist are riding through the forest and you see all these dead bodies in the trees and human limbs protruding, from the tree trunks and that. Very, very surreal, very, very eerie scene. But as far as I'm concerned, that's about the best scene in the movie. It's not bad. The story's not very good. And Christopher Lee was wasted in this. I say you don't really see much of him in that. And so on the whole, I was very disappointed with this movie. It's got no what's the name inside, no extra disc. That's just got the Blu-ray. But as I say, I thought he was wasted in this one. It was from 1967, directed by Harold Rainer. So there you go. That's The Torture Chamber of Dr. Sadism. Now moving on to the next movie in the Christopher Lee Eurocrypt box set, and that is The Castle of the Living Dead. Again, this movie's not much to write home about. I didn't like the story, and I'll read you the back anyway and just talk a little bit more about it. In the final film of his early 1960s European period, Christopher Lee stars as a 19th century count who invites a theatrical troupe for a weekend of horrors that boasts an enthusiastically creepy performance by Lee. Startling locations in Lazio, Italy's Orsini Orticelli Castle and Park of the Monsters. Second unit direction by Michael Reeves of The Witchfinder General, and the screen debut of Donald Sutherland as both a doofus gendarme and a hunchbacked hag. Philip Leroy co-stars in this 1964 French-Italian co-production from American producer Paul Maslansky, who would go on to produce Deathline and Police Academy. I'll just show you the back there, guys. It's got a couple of special features there if you want to freeze your cameras and take those in. There's a couple of photos from the movie. Yeah, another very very disappointing foreign movie that Christopher Lee made. Yeah, I wasn't impressed by this story at all. I actually fell asleep just over halfway through. Yeah, yeah. I woke up again, like, you know. Yeah, but it was very very soporific movie, and the cover, like the cover. It's sort of like the cover's actually better than the movie itself. Yeah, so just goes to show, doesn't it, guys? Never judge a book by its cover. Yeah, and the story was all over the place. I didn't like it at all. Not a patch on the Hammer movies. Yeah, so again, I thought Christopher Lee was wasted in this one. Yeah, it's got a bonus CD soundtrack by Angelo F. Legiano. Yeah, so black and white from 1964, directed by Warren Kiefer. Yeah, and as I say, very very weak storyline, guys. Yeah, so I can't recommend that at all. Castle of the Living Dead. It's one of Christopher Lee's worst movies, unfortunately. Coming on to the next one, again another movie what I wasn't particularly keen on, and that is Crypt of the Vampire. The cover, again, guys, promises so much, doesn't it? But delivers so little, unfortunately. I'll just read you the back of it and just give me thoughts on it as a whole. Yeah, the first official US Blu-ray release, now scanned from a fine-grained 35mm master. In a lavish gothic shocker inspired by Sheridan Le Fanu's immortal novella, Carmilla, Christopher Lee delivers a rare hero turn as a nobleman, Count Karnstein, whose foreboding castle teems with ancestral curses, unnatural desires, philosophical hunchbacks, and grisly acts of vengeance. Adriana Ambassi, Banks of the Living Dead, co-stars in this 1964 Spanish-Italian co-production, also known as Terror in the Crypt and the Crypt of Horror. Yeah, features a new 2K scan from a fine-grained 35mm print. Yeah, made in 1964, directed by Thomas Miller. Yeah, also stars Audrey Amber, Ursula Davis, Rosie Campos, Vera Valmont, and Nella Conju. Yeah, as I say, guys, this has got well, it's only got the trailers, the special features, and there's Christopher Lee there in the main role. Yeah, very very strange story, not gripping at all. Missed opportunity. Could have done so much better with this movie, and yeah, it was very very disappointing. Yeah, as I say, so again, I can't give that any superlatives. So there you go. That's Christopher Lee, Crypt of the Vampire, 1964. Right, we're moving on now to the worst, in my opinion, the two worst movies in the whole box set. So we're going to start with Sherlock Holmes and the Deadly Necklace. Oh boy, what a boring, turgid, interminable movie this was. Oh God, you don't need to take sleeping pills. Just put this movie on. I guarantee you'll be falling asleep within minutes. Yeah, it wasn't even Christopher Lee. Christopher Lee starred as Sherlock Holmes, but it wasn't even his voice. You know, the dubbing. I thought right away. You know, when I heard, I said to me, well, that's not Christopher Lee. Yeah, and sure enough, when I read up on it, it was as an American actor that dubbed his voice. Yeah, and yeah, oh, it was an awful movie. Yeah, I think this is the worst Sherlock Holmes movie I've ever seen in my whole life. Yeah, even the other Sherlock Holmes movies what Christopher Lee made, they were better than this. It was awful. Yeah. Just got a couple of special features there, guys, if you want to freeze your cameras and take those in. And there's Christopher Lee in the titular role, Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, Thorley Walters co-stars as well, and also Hans Sotner, Santa Berger, Hans Nielsen, Ivan Desny, and Wolfgang Lukshi. Screenplay by Kurt Siodmak, who wrote The Wolfman, the 1941 Wolfman. Yes, surprising, because he's done a brilliant job with The Wolfman. But this was terrible, disappointing. This one he wrote. Yeah, directed by Terence Fisher as well. You know, yeah, two guys who you know, are always associated with top quality work. This was definitely low quality, guys. I did not like this movie at all. I'll just show you the inside. I just got the Blu-ray. And yeah, one of the worst Sherlock Holmes movie I've ever seen in my whole life. You know, I couldn't wait for it to finish. You know, it was just boring. The story was all over the place, and it actually made me. It was such a bad movie. It actually annoyed me. Yeah, I'm not going to say any more now. I'm just yeah. So there you go, Sherlock Holmes and the Deadly Necklace. What an ordeal! And finally, we're coming to what must be the worst, and I mean the worst Blu-ray in the whole box set, and that is Challenge the Devil. Now, my main gripe about this movie is Christopher Lee. He's hardly in it. You only see him barely 2 minutes. He's like a cameo, you know. I think they were sort of like they were fooling the public a little bit here, saying Christopher Lee was going to be in this. He's barely in it, you know. And it's basically consistent of, well, I'll read you the back anyway and talk a little bit more about it, give you my thoughts. Yeah. So Lee's ultra rare Faustian shocker, that's a laugh. Now remastered from the original negative. In the most obscure film of his early 1960s Italian period, if not his entire career, Christopher Lee stars in this brilliantly bizarre combination of neo-realistic crime thriller, tawdry Christian melodrama, busy cabaret musical, and trippy gothic horror. In other words, it's one big mess. That's my opinion. Yeah. Trippy gothic horror culminating in a gang of bongo-crazed delinquents menaced by a white-haired Lee as a sinister... It gets worse. As a sinister Victorian who may be Satan himself. Change of wigs as well he had. Gio Ardisson, yeah, from Hercules and Haunted Whales stars in the staggering 1963 oddity. You can say that again, it was a bloomin' oddity. That marked the sole screen credits of writer-director Giuseppe Versace. Yeah, I'm not even going to read any more about it. You know, just the thought of it makes me want to fall asleep. Yeah, it's got 2 discs here. It's got a disc with special features on as well, and there's the that's the card with all the special features. So if you want to freeze your cameras and take those in, various interviews with Christopher Lee over the years. In fact, the special features were better than the blooming movie. Yeah? Oh, awful. The worst one on the whole box set, yeah. No English language. It was dubbed. It was a load of rubbish. And all it was basically was that the teenagers, they were just wandering around the castle. Christopher Lee wants them to find his wife, his beautiful wife. They spend most of the time wandering around the castle, doing all the anything. Oh, yeah. The ending was crap as well. Yeah. So this is the worst movie in the whole Eurocrypt of Christopher Lee box set, Challenge the Devil. Yeah, from 1963. Yeah, directed by Giuseppe Versace and produced by Ulderico Sciaretta. Yeah, it's a load of rubbish, guys. It really was. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend this movie. In fact, I wouldn't recommend the box set to anybody. Now, I'm a huge Christopher Lee fan, but I'm afraid this was a huge disappointment. Yeah, so there you go. That's the final movie in the box set, and that is Challenge the Devil, the biggest load of rubbish I've ever seen in my whole life. Right, now finally we're going to come to the TV series that Christopher Lee done for Poland. Well, it's a joint Polish-British production, and that is Theatre Macabre. Again, every bit as disappointing as the movies in the box set. Yeah, I was expecting a kind of a Roald Dahl, Twilight Zone, thriller kind of TV series. No. And you barely see Christopher Lee, when he bookends it, he's barely on the screen for a minute, you know, and you see him at the end, he's on even less at the end, yeah. I'll just read you the back of it anyway and just talk a bit more about it, yeah. So, this Polish anthology series, hosted by Christopher Lee, featuring 24 remastered episodes on 2 discs. Christopher Lee hosted this anthology television series, originally produced by Film Polski, in the tradition of Alfred Hitchcock's Presents and Boris Karloff's thriller. I don't think so. Nowhere near as good. Lee delivers the intro and outro for each half hour as his imposing and often cheeky best, while the tales themselves, adapted from stories by Poe, Ambrose Bierce, Robert Louis Stevenson and Oscar Wilde, are written and or directed by filmmakers that include these names: Zalaluski, an Academy Award winner, Andrzej Wajda, featuring additional dialogue by Jesse Lasky Jr. These 24 surviving episodes have now been scanned in 2K from the original negatives. Now, this series was made between 1971 and 72, a co-production of Film Polski, Transworld Television Productions. Yeah, awful. One special feature, a little promo back with Christopher Lee, and then he sort of like, he just introduces each episode, as I say, comes on at the end, yeah. You'd hardly see him, guys, yeah. Awful. awful. Again, he was wasted in this, you know. And as for the stories themselves, I was expecting a little bit more meat, you know, in the narrative. For one thing, you're all set in the olden days, a couple of centuries ago, and I'm not really a great fan of period pieces unless they're like really good, like the Hammer Dracula or Frankenstein. They're all set, you know, years ago, a couple of centuries ago. No modern stories at all. Very slow, very ponderous, dull, no twists. Oh, awful. There's not one superlative, not one superlative I can utter, you know, to redeem this series at all. It was the worst worst horror series I've ever seen. I mean, horror series, that's a laugh. Oh, it was awful. Yeah. So I've got a few more to watch, but I don't know whether I will. Like, 'cause so far I haven't liked any of them. Yeah. So there you go. That's the last disc I'd like to show you, and that is Theosophia Macabre. Awful. Yeah. Now, what's the best thing about this box set? I'll tell you the best thing about this box set. The best thing about this box set is the booklet written by the great Jonathan Rigby, an absolute expert on horror movies. Yeah, this is the best aspect of this awful box set. Yeah, fantastic book. Covers Lee's life, you know, yeah, right from when he went into movies and that, and his foreign assignments when he made the foreign movies, and his work for Hammer. I'll just show you the interior, guys. It's a fantastic book. Jonathan Rigby, as I've said before, he's really on the money when he comes to describing, talking about horror. You know, he's one of the best authors I've ever come across. Yeah, his Gothic books are good as well. Yeah, but he does a fantastic job with this. There's Lee and his makeup, The Curse of Frankenstein, the movie that made him a horror star along with Dracula. Fantastic little booklet. This the best thing about the box set. You know, that's a great photo of the great man. But, you know, very, very disappointed with this, guys. I really am, yeah. Lovely booklet, as I say. The best thing, the only saving grace, really, is this booklet by Jonathan Rigby. You know, it's got some great stills of Christopher in it and that. And, you know, really good. Covers his career, you know, very, very good sort of like, it's a good read, you know. Yeah, but as I say, the movies, they left a lot to be desired. They really did, yeah. So, yeah, as I say, the booklet's it's the best thing, you know, which is a shame, you know, because I was expecting, I suppose I'm not alone in this, saying this, I was expecting so much more, you know, from this box set, you know, Christopher Lee. But, you know, unfortunately, you know, the movies were awful, they really were, yeah. And I don't think I'll be watching it again. Well, no, I won't be watching it again. I'll be putting it on it. Well, I've actually put it on eBay already, so if anybody wants to buy it, it's there. But yeah, very, very disappointing, yeah. And very bad. The dubbing was terrible, especially the one with the Sherlock Holmes, yeah. That was just a joke, that one. You know, it really was, yeah. But yeah, so there you go, guys. That's my review of the Eurocrypt of Christopher Lee. Very, very disappointing movie. Very, 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 very disappointing box set. And you know, it promises so much. Nice sturdy box and that by Severin, and all the movies and that. You know, yeah, you think you know, if you're a Christopher Lee fan, like, you know, as much as I love Christopher Lee, and as much as I was looking forward to it, no doubt you will feel exactly the same about the general contents of this box set. Yeah, missed opportunity. They could have put better movies in here, but they put movies in what Christopher Lee, some, as I say, some of which Christopher Lee's barely in them, you know. So you know, I don't know how you can say, you know, Christopher Lee's in this and that when he's barely in it, like especially that one where he's in the castle, you know, with the teenagers and that, yeah, and again with the series and that, you know, Theosophia Macabre, you know, he's seen for a minute or two, yeah. So there you go, guys. So on to me rating now. Well, I'm going to be brutal, you know, as much as I love Christopher Lee, I absolutely idolise the man. He's one of my favourite horror icons. I'm going to be very brutal. I'm just going to give this a 2 out of 10. Yeah, that's how much I hated it, guys. Yeah, you know, I would have loved to. If these movies had been better, I'd have kept them in my collection because it's a beautiful box set. I mean, I've got to give Severin some credits for the packaging, you know, and the covers and that, you know. But unfortunately, the quality of the movies wasn't the general quality of the movies wasn't commensurate with the gorgeous aesthetics of the box set. Yeah. Have you got the Eurocrypt of Christopher Lee? Well, what did you think of it? you know, leave your thoughts down below. I'll be very interested to hear. You know, did you like it? Was there some movies what you like more than others, or did you hate the whole lot? Yeah, as I say, the only one I really, I suppose you could say, but I wasn't crazy about, was the one where he was in colour. You know, the torture chamber of Dr. Sadism. But the other movies, big thumbs down. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, that's my review of the Eurocrypt of Christopher Lee. I wish I could have said. I wish I could have been a little bit more positive, more glowing about it, and give you rolled off the superlatives as I normally do when I talk about Christopher Lee movies. But in this case, I've got to sort of like bite the bullets and say I was very, very disappointed with this. But that's not to say I'm not trying to put you off if you want to buy it, because I know some people like it, and I also know a lot of people hate it. Yeah, okay, well, that's all I'm going to say about this anyway. So, as I say, leave a comment down below. I'd be very interested to hear what you thought of it. If you liked the video, you know, usual, please feel free to share, subscribe, comment. And if you'll excuse me now, I'll just go and throw this in the rubbish bin. No, I'm only joking. That's on eBay. Yeah, talk to you all soon. Bye.